Poetry of Resistance podcast.
Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao. Non basterà, non basterà.
Co-funded by the European Commission under the CERV program.
Não podemos ignorar.
Welcome everybody to our podcast today. Today we will talk about resistance and what's the part of arts and culture in resisting to totalitarian regimes. Daria, in your experience in the stories you know, how artistic and cultural movements helped bringing down the totalitarian regimes throughout Europe.
I would say that we had the sanctions in that period, so I'm not sure that like we had a greatest cultural movement, but we have political movement that actually the young people were in them. So
Yes, sorry to
Yeah.
interrupt you, of course, but when we talk about arts and culture, we are talking about what was about music, for example,
Yeah.
what was sung, and about literature, also what
Yeah.
was written, and the effects of that kind of cultural products.
Yeah, I would say that mostly in that period we have like a performance on the streets, for example, that were held by Otpor. It is like a resistance in English. They had that name. So they were like a lot. They had a lot of political elements in their performances, but their performances also were cultural thing. So also, for example, we had in Serbia a situation that Music Festival actually started in the 90s, not in the 90s, but 20s, I think, at the beginning of the 20s. And that festival actually were symbol of resistance to Slobodan Milosevic regime.
Yeah.
So it was really big festival in that period, and now we also have that festival like symbol from that period. Now it is more cultural, more just how to say, it is not political thing in our country
But
anymore.
it's probably to celebrate that time,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, on some way, but now they don't have we don't have that messages from that
Okay,
festival.
okay.
Yeah.
One of the things this kind of cultural and artistic movements could do was to inspire and unite people in around the same ideals.
Yes.
Do you think that today the cultural and the artistic movements have the same power?
I think they have the same power, but they send a different message. For example, we in Lithuania, we were in Soviet regime, so we had a lot of artists who just hid some details in their paintings, and now we analyze it. Like I analyzed it recently in university. You look in the person's eyes, you see that. Look, you see all of those symbols, details. So nowadays, I think it's the same. Maybe we look into, I don't know, environmental problems more now. Then, of course, political problems were our main concern. But I think, yes, it has a great impact. We love art. A lot of people love art. So
Yes,
we
and,
just
and
look at it, analyze it.
these are
Yes.
the causes of our days.
Yeah.
The environment, climate change, gender issues.
Yeah.
So, uh, in your opinion, of course, do art have any take any part of that?
It's kind of hard to say because I wouldn't agree with Victoria. Well,
Okay, it's okay. Just explain us your view, your point of view.
yeah, I agree, but not at all because when we were in the Soviet regime, we didn't have the freedom, and now we don't understand the price of it. And the artists and their I mean, paintings, songs, they had much more meaning for the people. I would say that.
So you're saying that during oppression,
Yeah.
the arts, for example, are obviously more the tendency to take care of these kind of issues is greater.
Yeah, they just, on the people, they have more impact, I would say.
So I believe that the art is in during the war or in this kind of periods is it has important effect because as she said, it affects the people and the people minds can change, and yeah. So for example, this can be a song or a painting. If you think about the national songs, it's all, I don't know about other countries, but it happens during the war and it gives the people more
Encouragement, yes,
Yeah.
and then they give them inspiration, and they unite them in what we were saying before. They unite them around the same idea, the same purpose, and also they help raising awareness about what's happening with them, with their families, and the society in general.
Yes. So the national songs, I would say this can be the good example.
And do you know? I'm not. I will not ask you to sing, of course. But do you know any example of one song? One song.
I mean, everyone knows Ciao Bella, I think. Yeah.
Bella Ciao.
Bella Ciao.
Bella Ciao.
Bella Ciao.
From
It's Spain and Italy, as I know. Actually, I'm not sure.
Yes.
But in my country, also we have the song, national song. For example, if I translate the first sentences, it says, "Don't be afraid. The flag will not be go down." Something like this.
Okay.
Now I cannot exactly translate, but that time I know that it gave inspired to all the people, and yeah, it gathered the people in one shelter, so it was
Yes.
very important.
Let's talk about the present again. So in our time, as Andrea was saying, we don't live in an oppressive regime, but and we live in democracy and we have our freedom. But in this scenario, what do you think are the part of culture and of the arts movements?
In this time.
Yes, current day.
Well, currently, the popular culture in Serbia is pretty mainstream, and it's the messages and values are pretty the same as the ones in the global popular culture. So the popular culture, as it is popular, their values are kind of supportive to the existing system. So with the popular culture, we could not change anything. So if we want some change, then the alternative music alternative art provides that change. But the problem with alternative art is that it is alternative. So the less people are
Yes,
enjoying it.
It didn't reaches the major part of society. Is that
Yes.
what you're saying?
Yes.
And but to the ones that consume the alternative culture, again, music, literature, paintings, theater, cinema, for example. For them, what are the effects of that consumption of that kind of content?
Well, I think those alternative art provides more space for critical thinking and for reevaluating the system we live in. So it is
Raising awareness, as
Yeah.
we were talking
Yes.
before, also.
it enriches people more.
Okay, thank you very much to you all.
Thank you.
We will end from here, and thank you.
Poetry of Resistance podcast.
Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao. Non basterà, non basterà.
Co-funded by the European Commission under the CERV program.
Ouvimos e lemos, não podemos ignorar.